Yeah, what's going on, everybody? It's 10 o'clock. It's Saturday night. It's the return of the Mac. The return of the Mac. We took a week off, but now we're back. It's Red Cup Review Live, Saturday night at 10 o'clock, and you know where it's at. And I am joined by my better half, as always, the Sourcewell with Baz. Say what's up.
Humbly bubbly, bubbly, humbly bubbly, zibbly bop.
I didn't know I was live streaming with David Lee Roth.
Yeah, I'm trying to do David Lee Roth. I fudged that one up, but
that's cool.
What's up, guys?
And the planet Nibiru, the planet X from the collector's world. We're here with Nick Nack's Plastic Planet.
Hey guys, welcome from deep inside of the plastic planet, and of course, way west in the Mile High City. So good to be back with you guys right here on the Red Cup Review.
Yeah, awesome, man, great. And everybody that just joined us, we got 3 views. Make sure Kev's Matrix, what's up, all? How's it going, Kev? Make sure you like the video, invite your friends and all that. The likes are a big help to us here. Make sure you subscribe to Nick Nack's Plastic Planet, the Red Cup Review, and obviously the Sourcewell of Baz. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start the show off immediately, and we are going to talk about some news that was last week. So we're playing catch up a little bit. Or whoever, I think, Baz, on your end, it's coming in a little loud. You may have to lower your volume because I can hear the feedback. Okay. The Spider-Man Far From Home trailer dropped. And I got to tell you, I was completely enamored with it. I absolutely love this version of Spider-Man. This is becoming my favorite iteration of the character. I think Tom Holland is great. It looks fun. It looks exciting. And Aunt May is super hot. So I'll leave it at that. I'll serve to one of you guys, and now hit it back.
Yeah, what is up with Aunt May? I noticed that every iteration of Spider-Man, Aunt May becomes more and more doable. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
too many years, too many decades of her looking like from Dawn of the Dead.
I mean, really, you had the Tobey Maguire 2002 Aunt May, where she literally looked like the lady on the front of Grandma's cookies. And then she's gone down to then we get the Andrew Garfield version where it's played by Sally Field, who I've always kind of had a crush on Sally Field. So and then of course the latest incarnation played by help me out, Marissa Tomei. Thank you. So it's like the sex appeal on Aunt May is just her stock's going way up with each incarnation. But no, I watched the trailer. I thought it looked fun.
Yeah, no, man, I'm enamored. Baz, what do you got?
It's okay. I don't like the villain Mysterio.
You're just not a Mysterio fan?
He's kind of uninteresting. I don't see his illusions as such a big threat. Hydro Man might be in it. I don't know. I guess that's kind of cool, but I'm not too hot on the villains. So
I think that I think that's gonna be Mysterio creating like doing like false flags kind of to try to make himself look like a hero.
Yeah.
I'm digging the plot line. I like that Happy and Aunt May look like they're gonna be smooching up together a little bit. I love the 2 new outfits. He's got the Spider-Man Noir outfit, which I think looks great, and I just like the feel of it and the music. I think the fucking music is really selling me on a lot of these Marvel movies too.
I don't like his love interest, that MJ chick. I do not like her.
You're not a fan of this iteration of Mary Jane?
Hell no. Big thumbs.
It looks to me like she's definitely like lightening up on the whole like that type of character. Like she kind of smiles in this, so I was like, "Oh, okay." Hopefully, this is like some kind of character arc where she kind of grows out of that a little bit.
Yeah, well, I hear you, Baz. I'm kind of into redheads myself, so that's definitely
missing. Speaking of like really good iterations of Spider-Man, the Spider-Man game for PS4, I'm almost done with it. I'm at like 95 completion, and that's like. That should almost become like the new iteration of Spider-Man. Like it's really freaking good. His relationship with Doc Ock before he turns is right out of Spider-Man 2, and it's even better because you get a lot more time of them talking and kind of they get like that mentor kind of like it seems like all of Peter's father figures kind of just deteriorate on him and then kind of blow up in his face. But Mary Jane's kind of written a little bit differently in this as well. She's not like some super hot model. She's pretty, but she's more of a typical girl next door. And she actually works for the Daily Bugle. She took over Peter's spot when Peter left. They actually wound up hiring her. She has like a journalism degree or some shit like that. But it works. It works really well.
Mary Jane should be a girl next door. That's definitely who she should be.
Well, she was like super ridiculous hot model for the longest time. It's like, how the hell is Peter Parker supposed to be like poor if he's married to Giselle?
Right. Hey, I did want to tell you guys. Oh, sorry, Baz.
Yeah, real quick. Speaking of Dr. Octopus, I threw on Raiders of the Lost Ark the other day just to watch something, right? So in the beginning, when Indiana Jones first shows up and he's looking for the, whatever that gold thing, he's got two guys with him. One of them is Alfred Molina.
Yeah, that was Alfred Molina's first credited movie role.
Wow, that was his first movie. Wow, that's awesome.
That's crazy, right? I recognized that like about a year ago. I'm watching it, and I'm like, why the fuck does this guy look like a skinny Dr. Octopus? Because it is.
He double-crossed Indiana Jones in that.
Yeah, that's right. He double-crossed him, and he gets the spikes in the back of his head or something, right? Like it comes through his throat or some crazy shit. When he bumps into him.
That's right. Yeah, the guy in South America, right?
Yeah,
right.
He claps him. He's like, "See you later."
Yeah, toss me the whip. He's like,
"Yep,
adios, senor." And he
just drops the whip on him. What a dick.
Yeah.
Okay, so quick rundown of the chat. Kev's Matrix, we said before, Robert, just a fan. How's it going, buddy? Jeff Morris is with us. El Chambo Custom Dioramas, good evening. For those of you that are into dioramas and stuff like that, El Chambo does some pretty good stuff, so go check him out on Instagram. And I'm pretty sure he has a YouTube page too, so you just click on his name and go see his YouTube page. Robert, just a fan. Hey, how's it going? He says he's got the Mondo Batman, and he looks awesome, the 12-inch Batman. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty big, but then again, I collect Hot Toys. So I really like the cell shading on him. The Mondo Batman made my my number 10 out of 10 reveals from San Diego Comic-Con last year. I thought he was, because of the paint apps, I thought they looked wonderful.
Yeah, the paint apps look good. I want to see that Mr. Freeze too. He looks excellent.
Oh, that's like my favorite version of Mr. Freeze, man. Just that cold robotic, like I just love the sleek look of the animated series. I just picked up I belong to a few pages on here where guys sell codes on Facebook, like voodoo codes, and I was able to get the remastered versions of the Batman the Animated Series, so I started watching those. And obviously I'm watching them now in not their aired order, because apparently companies don't know what the fuck they're doing and they air cartoons out of sync. So what I thought was the first episode was really like episode 7. So I'm actually watching them in the order they're supposed to be in, and it's just what a lovely cartoon. It's beautiful, top to bottom, perfect Batman, sleek, crime noir, 40s inspired. It's just I love everything about it.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite shows. That show came out my junior year in high school, and it was so awesome because I actually remember I was in high school football at the time when that came out, and I really enjoyed ditching practice a few times to catch that. So
nice, that's pretty freaking awesome. Yeah, that was like right after school. I look forward to that every freaking day. We spoke about that during our Batman episode when we had like a Batman day or some bullshit back in October.
That's right.
It says Molina has a great spot comedy in the Vice movie. Oh, nice, cool. I'm dying to see the Vice movie myself. Next week, everyone's talking about the Emperor. Got the Emperor Hot Toys. Looks good. Next week, Emperor is on the way. He looks great. He's a grail. Knick-Knack, you did a review of the Emperor, correct?
Yeah, I did. It actually wasn't mine. It was my sometimes partner in crime, Uncle Pat. It was his piece, but he was gracious enough to bring it over, and we did a full review on that. So if you want to check my channel out and check out that review, that would be awesome.
Yeah, no, definitely go and check out that review. So what did you think? Give us a quick little
dude, it was great. I mean, you know what? Very rarely am I going to say something negative about a Hot Toys Star Wars figure. It was absolutely fantastic. I have the 2009 Emperor and Polystone throne from Sideshow Collectibles. I have it up in my detail here, and so I was a little reluctant to get that piece because I already, it's like part of that whole rebuying thing. You buy what you think is premium 10 years ago, and now it's shit. and so now you feel compelled to go out and buy it again. So I was a little reluctant to do that, but it was nice to be able to see his Hot Toys Emperor and Deluxe Emperor and Throne and put it next to my my Sideshow one, and we did a full compare and contrast, and you could see the strengths of one and the weaknesses of other. But overall, the Hot Toys one is pretty superior.
Nice. Yeah, I heard that what you got to do when you get him in order to get him to sit in the throne, like, because the guys are saying like his feet kind of dangle, you got to like push down on like his like lower waist, like where his hips are, and kind of like sink him into his seat a little bit. But,
yeah, we did know that was something we noticed in the review, that he does kind of dangle there. He looks like a little kid sitting at the candy counter, you know. But yeah, I'm sure you do have to kind of jam him in.
Nick Nack, we got Kev's Matrix is giving it, and that's perfect. Listen, I want to give a shout out. Tech Chucker, what's up? To the chat again real quick, because we rely on you guys for feedback as we're doing this, because sometimes we don't hear technical issues that you might be picking up. And Kev's Matrix says that Nick Nack's got to turn his volume down a little bit because of the feedback. I don't know if that's coming through Baz's speaker or Nick Nack's. I don't think it's coming through mine because I have the directional mic pointed straight at me. Let's see what's up, fellas. Oh, folks is shit, folks. Yo, folks, the Master Barber who just joined us. For everybody in the chat, first of all, he's a great barber, and second of all, he collects like these giant, massive statues from all different companies. I'm sure XM Prime One, the premium formats. And he decks the hell out of his, I think it's his store or it's his man cave. I don't know exactly where he cuts hair, but the place is like a fucking wonderland of statues and just cool shit. So you guys got to catch him on Darth Castle's open mic on Friday nights, because these fucking guys' collections, when they do these statues, this guy's place looks like a damn museum. It's like you go to sit down and get a haircut and you're in a fucking museum of cool toys and shit, man. It's great. Well, or statues, that is. Let's see what else is going on here. All right, guys, look, we wanted to open the show with a little bit of levity and a little bit of light-heartedness. But, the shop is in his basement. All right, cool. There you go. All right. Bill Maher is an asshole, okay? This is like one of the big hot topics of the week. Apparently, Bill Maher, doubled down on his comments about how he thinks the collector community is a bunch of fucking babies and that we are a bunch of overgrown babies and we're not real adults. So I actually have a transcript of what he said at the end of his show during his sign-off, and I'm going to read that for you here now, and then we're all going to chat about it and talk about how much of a jerk-off this guy is. At least I think he is. And I'm sure a few of our guests here tonight agree with me as well. Okay, here it goes. I'm sorry. This is from Bill Maher. I'm sorry, but if you're an adult playing with superhero dolls, I'm sorry, I mean collectible action figures, why not go all the way and drive to work on your big wheel? That is pretty funny. Maher said while showing pictures of various social media posts, grown-ups these days clinging so desperately to their childhood that when they do attempt to act their age, they have a special word for it now, adulting. Let's see. He also goes on to say, you can, if you want, like the exact same things you liked when you were 10, but if you do, you need to grow up, he ranted. That was the point of my blog. I'm not glad Stanley is dead. I'm sad that you're alive, he says. By the way, if someone says you're being childish, yeah, right, this guy's awesome. By the way, if someone says you're being childish and you react by throwing a tantrum, you're not Iron Man, you're Irony Man. This guy has writers. I'm sorry, right?
Yeah, he does.
Okay. You are Iron. Okay, let me tell you, people, we're pissed about this post. I wasn't even aware I ruffled so many capes until I saw that 40,000 Twitter followers unfollowed me like that. To which I say, good riddance. Go follow Yogi Bear. The talk show host then went on to trash fan favorite filmmaker Kevin Smith for a series of tweets after the infamous blog post, even going through the length to personally attack Kevin Smith's fashion choices. He talked about, you can't compare comics to real literature, and superhero movies are great cinema, and who in general, these people stuck in everlasting childhood. Bragging that you're all about the Marvel Universe is like boasting your mother still pins your mittens to your sleeves. Maher then went on to compare the liking of comics and comic-themed movies and television shows to getting pampered by your mother as a child. You can if you want, like the exact same things you liked when you were 10, but if you do, you need to grow up. All right, guys, sound off. Personally, I think he's a troll douchebag, Jeff Maher, who's Bill Maher. It's fucking hilarious. Yeah, it was total fucking nonsense. This guy just doesn't know how to like not sound like an asshole. Otherwise, he's just trying to incite things to fucking. I don't want to say sound relevant because the guy's got a fucking HBO show. People like, we can make jokes. Who's Bill Maher? Fuck him. We don't follow politics. I happen to follow politics a little bit. I even watch the Bill Maher show sometimes just to get his perspective because I don't want to hate on somebody without kind of knowing what they're about. This is just plain fucking stupidity. Comics these days and graphic novels are written like fucking modern masterpieces. Most of this shit is better than fucking half the literature that's out there. These stories, they're much more mature, and they're fucking getting nominated for Academy Awards, which we'll get to right after this segment. That's the next segment, actually, there, Mr. Maher. So there's legitimacy into liking this type of shit. But to say that they're only kid stuff and then to just go on and wax poetic about fucking politics all day long, day in and day out, it gets a little bit tiring, man. Sometimes you need a break from that shit. Guys, take it away.
He just doesn't get it. I think he actually mentioned that he never read comics as a kid or anything, so he doesn't even know what he's referencing. But I found it pretty funny, and he's entitled to his opinion, so it doesn't bother me. Everyone has their thing. I mean, I heard that he used to visit the Playboy mansion quite a lot back in the day, so maybe his thing was like sex addiction or something. I mean, this is just a hobby. It's everybody's into something, I mean, even people that are into sports, they take it a little too far too. Everyone has their thing. This is our thing. He doesn't get it. Whatever. I thought it was funny. I don't know. I agree with him on some things. I think he's a pretty funny guy. So, doesn't bother me.
Knick-knack?
Yeah, can you guys hear me better? I'm kind of free balling it here. I took off the headset. Am I coming in okay?
Yeah, no, you're coming in just fine.
All right, so yeah, I'm kind of freeballing here. Yeah, you know what? I've followed Bill Maher for years. I remember him back when he had his old politically incorrect show. He's one of those guys. He's kind of like, in a sense, he's kind of like Bill Burr. I mean, half the things that come out of his mouth are going to piss you off. Half the things that come out of his mouth you're going to agree with. You know what? I just can't. You know what? I'm 43 years old anymore. I know who I am. I'm secure in it. I just got to kind of laugh about it. I mean, it's fun. The Big Wheels thing was kind of funny.
No, it's definitely witty. You see, this is what bothers me about it a little bit, right? We're all men here, okay? Now, you have a whole section of the collector community that are really just like, they give the rest of us a bad name, and unfortunately, that's just the way it is in every group. But you got three guys here, and I'm not going to speak for everybody in the chat, but I'm sure they do as well. You go to work every day, bring home a paycheck. Sometimes you got a family you take care of. Like, I'll speak for myself. I take care of a family. I'm a homeowner, go to work every day. I get to do this in my spare time and have fun with it. This is like Baz coined this term when we first started doing this. This is like the bar, like the modern day like nerd bar. So, like once a week you go. This is like our Cheers, so to speak, But we're all fucking responsible adults here, and I also happen to pay attention to politics from time to time again. So to say that, like, I need to ride to work on my big wheel, as hilarious as that is, I think it kind of misses the point in what we really do this for, You don't just take and lump everybody together as, oh, fuck them, they're just a bunch of nerds. It's a little ridiculous.
I don't think he's, like, ever read The Watchmen, or, like, he doesn't know about, like, the more mature side of the genre. Like he referenced, oh, why don't you go follow Yogi Bear? So, like, he thinks, like, comic books and all this stuff is all just, like, kiddie stuff, like kid-level stuff.
Yeah, a couple years ago, I heard he did one of his big tirades on kind of like on food and what people eat and stuff. I just think that sometimes he can be so tone deaf. I mean, he was, like, ripping on people for eating, like, Totino's pizza and things like that. And, like, dude, a lot of people can't afford to not eat those things. Not everyone can afford to go out and eat some tofu shit. I just think he's tone deaf on some things. I think this is one area where he definitely is probably a little tone deaf on. I don't think he understands geek culture. He's he just kind of he's kind of one of those guys that's kind of this sort of hipster douchebag kind of mentality, looking at it from the outside, and he just can't. I just can't get in a twist about it, because like you said, like you said there, Rob. I mean, you know what? Hey, dude, I own my own home. I've had a job. I've worked in my career field for over 20 years now. I have a number of personal accomplishments, and so what if I like dolls? Fuck you. It's all good.
Yeah. Hells yeah, exactly. We got folks says we're getting some feedback again. Baz, it's got to be coming through your computer then, man. I don't know. We're gonna have to just go to the fucking headphone setup eventually. We're gonna try our best to just keep it going though. All right, let's see. Bill Maher tapped into the wrong genre. Yeah, I know. They're gonna have fucking like everyone that goes to Comic-Con now raid this. You want to raid somebody's fucking house? We should all just show up and have a fucking party in front of his house, right? With fucking Captain America fucking parade in front of his house and shit. Anyways,
no, that's what snowflakes do. I'm not a snowflake.
Let's see. We speaking of this genre and the things we do, getting being a little bit more adult and getting a little bit more notoriety in the world. Black Panther got a ton of fucking Oscar nods. Now, how awesome! On one end, I'm sitting here scratching my head, but on the other end, I'm like, excuse me, that's great. I can't hate on the fact that the comic book world or the Marvel Cinematic Universe, however you want to frame it, is getting the accolades that it so deserves. It kind of bothers me a little bit that The Dark Knight didn't get nominated, but this was before they were doing like 10 fucking movies. The Dark Knight doesn't get nominated, but Black Panther does. Black Panther was a good movie. Best movie of the year? I don't know. I mean, like maybe cinematography, visuals.
The special effects kind of wasn't that good.
The special effects were a little sketchy here or there. I thought what's his face played a fucking excellent role. The villain, like if you want to give an award, like, and you want to like have more people like for like up for shit, like he played an excellent role. What's his face? Michael B. Jordan, as far as conveying emotional
shit. Same role though. He's always that character. He's one note. If you watch Creed, he's the same guy in Creed.
Really?
Just angry guy with an attitude. Yeah, all the time. It's like it's the one role he plays. But no, I thought it was a solid movie. It was entertaining, but Best Picture, not even close. It's not even the best Marvel movie, which is Winter Soldier.
Right. Yeah.
So
see, this stuff is it's weird. It's a touchy subject. I thought that Infinity War was fantastic. I know Nick Nack was kind of like with it, but for like accomplishment and being able to do what they did, to me, that was like a huge fucking feat. I don't know if there's like a category for that, but that was like, holy shit, what the director was able to do, in my opinion, at least. But
the Oscars at this point are totally politically motivated in their choices anyway. So who cares? I don't care. It doesn't deserve.
I'm kind of happy though, right? Like, isn't it like good at the very least that at least it's getting a little bit more notoriety in the mainstream? Like that's got to be good, right?
Probably be the one time that it happens.
No, right? Then you'll never fucking see another movie get nominated for something that's like comic relief,
no,
right?
I kind of lost respect for the whole Academy Awards process way back, and I think it was 1999. When one of the greatest war movies of all time, in my opinion, Saving Private Ryan, got beat out by a little film called Shakespeare in Love.
Oh my God!
Oh boy!
So I mean, you can't take it too seriously either way. I mean, hey, you know what? Titanic won Best Picture, and hey, Titanic's a fine film. Especially if you're a 13-year-old girl. But I mean, you know what? Was it the best movie of the year? Hell no. I mean, Avatar got a Best Picture nomination when it back in, what was that, 2008, 2007? I can't remember. But, I don't know. I just don't take the Academy Awards very seriously. I thought Black Panther was an okay movie. It was an okay superhero movie. I don't think it I don't think it broke new ground by any stretch. I don't know. I thought it was fine. I mean, if they want to nominate it, great. I don't watch the Academy Awards anyway, so.
I think that that if they do want to have people watch, they need to start nominating more fucking superhero movies.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. I would probably watch if they created like a best superhero or like action based movie of the year or something. But then again, it loses its prestige of like the the Hollywood fucking snobs get to play dress up once a year and compare dick sizes. But I would tune in to see like, oh, what was the best fucking superhero movie of the year, or fantasy sci-fi movie of the year or some shit, because that's kind of more in our vein,
Oh, it's totally more in our wheelhouse,
Well, folks says here, Black Panther is more than a superhero movie. Yeah, no, I totally understand. I understand that part of it for the most part. I understand what it means, which is why I think that maybe it should have gotten like its own maybe section of the Oscars, like give it its own like a year accomplishment or achievement award, or like have the whole fucking cast get up there and kind of like honor them somehow for doing what they did. I'm totally on board for that. But I mean, as far as best movie of the year, I mean, I don't know. You know what? Then again, most best movies of the year, with the exception of like you had mentioned Saving Private Ryan, which is an excellent fucking movie. Most of them, I'm like, I don't want to watch or never heard of. I recently watched Bohemian Rhapsody. That was really good. I think that guy's. I don't want to say a shoo-in for actor of the year because I haven't seen Vice yet, and I keep hearing about how great Christian Bale was in that movie. But
see that Vice, yeah.
I want to see Vice, but I saw Bohemian Rhapsody was fucking excellent.
Oh yeah. The guy who plays Freddie Mercury totally became Freddie Mercury. I didn't even see that actor anymore.
Yeah, no, it was pretty like crazy. So if you're interested in that at all, especially, I mean, Queen's got some fucking excellent music. Go watch that shit because the movie was fucking great. And it's just good to see that this guy had like walked like him, moved like him. He had the fake teeth in with the jaw piece and all that. It was excellent. He totally disappeared into the role. Art G, I made it, Robert. What's up, guys? Yay, what's up? Art G's at work and he tries to tune in every week with us. His busy season, like mine, because last week I couldn't do this, is the winter season as well. Let's see. Most nominees are obscure to the general public. PB made tons of money. Oh, that's but wait, PB? I don't know what the fuck PB is.
You ever hear that movie called Crash? I think that won like a Best Picture one year.
Yeah, that won Best Picture too. I saw that. That was like kind of forgettable.
Crash. It was total trash. I mean, right. So. Yeah, I tried watching it. I never lasted longer than 15 minutes.
Yeah, no, I actually sat through it and I was like, all right, that was okay, but whatever, take it or leave it. It is what it is. But I mean, hey, listen, I got, at the same time, we got to say that the more we got to kind of back our players, right? Like us YouTubers get together. We do this show. We got the guys in the chat, shout out, go subscribe to their channel. This guy, everybody should go subscribe to RG. So yeah, no problem like that. He does great reviews too. So we should be backing each other's plays, right? So unless something's like a blatant slap in the face or a complete takeover from some crazy, like weird genre type film that's infiltrating the superhero or comic genre, we kind of got to, if the shit's good, we got to back it, right? I mean, it was enjoyable, the movie. So I say, fuck it. You know what? I hope it wins every fucking award just so that they could, Bill Maher could shut the fuck up. At the very least, this guy could just go shut the fuck up.
They greenlit a Silent Bob and what you call it, reboot or something.
Yeah, James Silent Bob, the big reboot. They greenlit it.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Awesome. So that'll probably be like in a 2021 by the time that shit comes out.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it shouldn't take long to film. I mean, there's no special effects or.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so, well, I don't know, man. Mark Hamill, fucking Luke Skywalker, was in the last one.
Oh, Cockknocker. Yeah.
Cockknocker, yeah. I wonder if there's...
Back, right?
What happened, Nick Nack?
I said that was Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, right?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, a great fucking movie, man. It's a shame that we had to wait so many years because now, like, there's going to be whole generations of people that are going to be like, who the fuck is this Kevin Smith? Who's Jay and Silent Bob? We don't know these characters.
Right, yeah.
But fuck it, I'll go watch it because that's the shit I grew up with, so it is what it is.
Anyway, last year I saw him at two Terrificons ago. I saw him speak live. I swear to God, he spoke for 4 hours straight.
Yeah, that guy could fucking talk, man. There was a time when Kevin Smith has this podcast, right, called Fat Man on Batman. So if you guys do your car rides to and from work or train rides or whatever. You got some spare time. I'm a big podcast guy. When you're done listening to this and us rant in your car, if you don't want to sit here and watch us talk, check out the older episodes of Fat Man and Batman. When Fat Man and Batman first started, he used to be totally Batman related, and he used to interview all different kinds of artists and writers, and he had Jim Lee on. He had Neil Adams on a couple of times. The Neil Adams two-parter is one of the best podcasts you'll ever hear if you're into like Batman and like Batman history and shit. But then the show just devolved into like this. It's like the same shit we're doing here, like the Week in Pop Culture review, but Kevin Smith fucking likes everything. And they talk, it's supposed to be Fat Man and Batman, and they talk about like everything, every fucking thing. Like I don't need to hear about The Expanse when I'm trying to hear about superheroes. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of like fell out with the Fat Man and Batman. But if you want to hear an awesome podcast, go back and listen to like the first 50 or 60 episodes of Fat Man and Batman. Totally great. Good stuff. Have you been to the Secret Stash? Been there a few times during trips to New Jersey. Yes, I've been to the Secret Stash once. And there's pictures on my personal Facebook page of me standing in front of the Secret Stash and me standing in front of the Jay and Silent Bob at the Clerks. I went to actually the Clerks store, and I was able to like hang out in the shop. It's just a fucking deli at this point, but I was able to go.
Like, I gotta ask, what was that like? Because I used to watch that Comic Book Man on AMC some, and I always thought it was very interesting. The product that they'd show on camera, it almost didn't make it look like a legit comic book store, because it felt like they were only putting product in front of the camera that like they only had license to put in front of the camera. So it was really authentic to me.
Right.
What was it like?
I mean, no, that's there's probably a lot of truth to that, I guess. I mean, I watched the show once, and the problem I had with that show, and by all means, smack me off on my pedestal. But if I met Steve Dave, the fucking guy, the I guess the head guy on the show. Tell him Steve Dave, the guy from Mallrats. He was a very nice guy, cool fucking dude. But I don't know, man. Like to me, it was just like it was very gimmicky. It came across as too overproduced and not like it didn't seem real to me, like a real comic shop with guys showing their real personalities. It seemed to me like everyone was kind of holding off on who they truly were because of fucking TV contracts and all that kind of bullshit. So. I mean, hey, what are you gonna do? We always got fucking YouTube, right? For you know, and non-network television bullshit. It was still your typical, it's your typical comic book collectible store. You go in there, it's the same shit. Nobody famous was there when I was there, from the show at least. And but it was cool. It's cool to be there. It's cool to be in that little town there and walk in and kind of check everything out. I think I bought something. I forgot what the fuck I bought. I think I bought like a trade paperback or something. I bought like something in there. They have a bunch of signed Kevin Smith book, Batman books, Cacophony, and all that other shit that he wrote. So it was all right. You know, not missing much. The Clerk store to me was cooler because the video store next door that Randall works for in that movie is like still there, and all the VHS tapes are still there, but they're all knocked over as if there was like the fucking store is just ransacked, and it's kind of like closed, and like, you know, obviously like no one ever went in there to reopen it or clean the fucking place up. So it's almost like that. Like you look in it and you're like, you feel like you're looking into the 90s. You know, when you look in there, it's crazy. So I got more of a kick out of that. The Toy Hunter show is a fun one. That Toy Hunter guy that was on for a while, I watched him. I enjoyed his show a little bit more, but I don't know. To me, you know, it was better because I got to learn something from that show. I'm not going to bash it because I got to learn about like rocket firing Boba Fett and all that bullshit. So that was kind of cool. I hated Toy Hunter. He was so scummy. I'll give you $5 and then sell for 500. Well, that's just the business. He's a businessman. Look, you want to really get annoyed? Watch what's that show on the History Channel with the bald guy Rick and his kids? You know what I'm talking about?
Pawn Shop or
Pawn Stars. You want to get pissed? You watch that, and the fucking guy will come in with like an original Christopher Reeve Superman outfit, and he's like, "I don't know, I'll give you like a, you know, best I can do is like $30." Right. The guy's like, it's got Christopher Reeve sweat stains on it, bro. Yeah. And you know, so whatever. You want to get pissed? Watch that. It's funny. It's fun to just see some shit from history pop up from time to time. But you know, that type of stuff will always fucking drive you nuts. All right. Another new movie, another new thing. Keep the show going. The new Ghostbusters movie. Yay! Yay! Why do we have Ghostbuster shit up here? There's a new Ghostbuster movie coming, and I am fucking happy as a pig in shit because it's a real Ghostbuster movie. That's right, I said it. It's a real Ghostbuster.
You misogynist.
My toxic masculinity is shining. No, I'm just playing. Go ahead.
You hate women. You hate women so much that you have a wife and a daughter.
Yeah, exactly. It's terrible. I'm the worst. I'm the fucking worst. I'm able to have a marriage and an upstanding, beautiful daughter that I love, that I'm raising to be a warrior princess. But I'm just total. I didn't really care for the last Ghostbuster movie so much, so I'm Hitler. Okay, so I'm just gonna shave all this and just keep this. This is gonna be me now.
Listen,
that's the new look.
the fans wanted a Ghostbusters that was connected to the first two movies. That had whatever cast was willing to do it from those movies come back. I'm saying that because you know Bill Murray is always against doing a sequel.
Yeah, he's against doing everything. That's not our house.
Yeah, so that's what the fans wanted. Why didn't I mean they would have made more money that way? You know. So now they put out that shit movie with the chicks that did horrible. And what did one of the cast members say? You got any other quotes?
Leslie Jones said that she was like, I'm trying to stay off the fucking politics, guys, but when it starts bleeding into the collector world, we have to address it, especially since we do a show. Leslie Jones turns around and says something to the effect of, it was a move that Donald Trump would do. Okay, whatever. So it's something that Donald Trump would do, and it's complete bullshit, and they're just gonna push us to the side and make this new movie. And it's like, look, in my opinion, I had no problem. I actually liked aspects of the all-girl Ghostbuster movie. I liked some design choices. I liked the way the blonde girl looked, because she kind of reminded me of Egon. His look, she had a very similar look to him from the cartoon. There were things about it that I kind of liked, but there would have been no problem just taking those girls and maybe making that in the Ghostbuster proper universe and just having the original Ghostbusters play them, the characters, continue the story or something.
Yeah, that would have worked.
It also would have been written a little bit better, because some of the fucking jokes in that movie were just plain up terrible.
You could do what they should have done is what you call it? Say half men, half female squad. 2 guys, 2 girls. Or if you want to do all girls, make 1 or 2 of them related to one of the original Ghostbusters, like a father-daughter relationship thing going on. Or just have a special female division of the Ghostbusters, just all females.
Nick, there was a way. Are you a Ghostbuster guy? Nick Nack? Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. I have very fond memories of I was 9 years old in 1984. I have very fond memories of seeing the original Ghostbusters. I actually got dragged to that movie because I was it was 1984, and in my mind, if anything wasn't Star Wars, it was shit. And that's where I was at when I was 9 years old. And I got dragged to that movie, and I remember I don't think I've ever sat in a movie and been more pleasantly surprised than I was in Ghostbusters. Outside of the first 5 minutes of the movie scared the shit out of me. The whole librarian scene with the library ghost.
Oh yeah, no, that movie did have its fucking scary.
That scared the shit out of me. That made me white. But outside of that, it just was. I never had so much fun at the movies. At that point, up in if it wasn't a Star Wars film. So I love the original Ghostbusters very much. I think with the 2016 reboot really missed out on was they put it in a new continuity, and they didn't give what fans would have wanted, which was a proper, handing of the torch, passing of the torch. And I think it would have done better in people's minds had they at least acknowledged the original. And what they did was just kind of wipe the slate clean. The original didn't happen. This is the new Ghostbusters, period. And I don't think that sat well with people, regardless of gender.
Yeah, no, not at all. I mean, the jokes were I don't mind. Someone said that they hate Melissa McCarthy. I think she's pretty funny in certain roles. Certain roles, she's pretty good. But they have a tendency that the new Saturday Night Live comedy is very we're just going to beat a joke to death. We're going to have the ghost throw up in what's her face's face in the beginning of the movie. The girl that's playing
Kristen Wiig.
Kristen Wiig. The ghost is going to throw up in her face, and it just keeps throwing up in her face for like fucking 30 seconds, and it's like, yo, that's not funny. You're going to do that with every joke. That's not comedy anymore. It's like neutered comedy. So whatever. But everybody that is watching right now that's into the Ghostbusters, there's something I read online that brought me to tears. It literally brought me to tears. There's a treatment for the Ghostbusters movie that was written a few years ago when they were developing this, when Paul Feig was developing this female Ghostbusters movie. And I think I think it's Max Brooks that wrote it, or no, not Max Brooks, something Landis. The Landis guy, his son, the guy, yes. the guy that directed the Michael Jackson's Thriller, American Werewolf in London. His son wrote a treatment for the Ghostbusters movie, what he thought should have been, and it's almost a full script. It's basically like a tighter Cliff Note version of a script. And let me tell you, the fucking storyline for this was perfect. It had the female Ghostbusters. Basically, the gist of it is it takes place in the same continuity, and Peter Venkman is able to franchise Ghostbusters. And he retires and goes to like live on a beach somewhere. And there's Ghostbusters in Chicago. There's Ghostbusters in Los Angeles, Miami. All these different cities have different like Ghostbuster divisions. And there's like an all-girl team. There's a team of like younger people. There's a mixed team. And the team that runs New York is Egon's daughter is on the team, and Egon's dead. He died, right? And she's developing technology like a radio that could tap into the ghost realm to try to like talk to her father, because she feels as though that she never got the time with him that she should have, because he was always busy being a nerd, building things and doing Ghostbustery stuff. So it kind of put a strain on their relationship. So she's trying to reconnect with him from the real world to the spirit world. Fucking brought me to tears. The way it's just written is excellent. Amazing. What?
I'm hooked already.
And the whole idea behind this is that like there's like a whole bunch of other shit that's going on, so I don't want to just say the whole fucking thing. You guys got to go read it. But basically, the real villain the whole time is the god Tiamat, and Gozer. They said like Gozer is the destroyer, the traveler. Actually, Gozer was more like the Silver Surfer to Tiamat's Galactus. And they have to fight fucking Tiamat at the end, and all the Ghostbusters from around the fucking the world have to come together in New York and team up to fight like this fucking god that shows up. And it's totally fucking cool as hell, man. And
that sounds awesome. Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's a great fucking. It's like I want to say about a 15 or 20 minute read. So definitely go and check out. I think his name's Max Landis. Go check out Max Landis's Ghostbuster script, just like that online. It's fucking awesome, man.
That kid's talented, man. He's a good idea guy.
Yeah, I was totally fucking surprised, man. It was one of those things where like I was reading it and going like you're cheering, like I'm reading this thing on my phone, or I was reading on my phone, and I was like whoa, like it got like it was a reaction, like where like the reaction isn't just up here, it actually manifests itself. So it was good. Definitely go and check that stuff out. As far as the new Ghostbuster movie goes, anything Ghostbusters 4, I'm gonna be like yay, and then see where it goes, because I wasn't the biggest fan of Ghostbusters 2, but the first one is one of my all-time favorite movies. Like just straight up, it's like in my top 5. I absolutely, to this day, I watch that movie and find little things and little comedic subtleties that the actors did that still cracks me up.
And Ghostbusters 2 had me all the way up until they started making the Statue of Liberty walk, and then I was like, wow.
With the Nintendo controller?
Yeah, wow. Yeah. That was like, that was Fonzie warm, shining up his water skis there, Yeah.
Yeah.
Jumping the shark.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, word, definitely. Let's see. Bumblebee was a decent, fun film. Yeah, I'm hearing great stuff about Bumblebee. I didn't go and see it, but I will see it, because apparently this is like the greatest movie according to fucking Rotten Tomatoes, and everybody and their mother is telling me to go see this. And I'm a big Transformers G1 fan.
Did you see Bumblebee? It? I did. And let me tell you, the first 5 minutes of Bumblebee is like all we've ever asked for in a Transformer movie. The first 5 minutes, it's like they finally got the memo.
Wow.
And it's just, I just got, you could go watch the first 5 minutes, then you could leave. I'm not saying it's a bad movie. It's a good movie. But I mean, the first 5 minutes alone, you'll just be satisfied.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice. I remember when they rebooted Star Trek, I felt like that after watching Kirk's father go down with the ship in the reboot, the J.J. Abrams Star Trek. And I know that movie's divisive too, but I loved it. It was more of like a Star Wars-y Star Trek movie. But after the first 5 minutes of that movie, I was like, holy shit, that was worth the price of admission alone right there.
That was Helmsworth as Kirk's father.
Yeah,
and that was before he was cast as Thor also.
Yeah, that was like the first time I ever remember seeing him as anything. You know.
Yep. Yeah, so, I'm a big, long-time Star Trek fan. Going back, it was, when I was a kid, I went from Star Wars and kind of like as I, became a teenager, kind of got into Star Trek and original series, and I got into Next Generation and whatnot. And I got to tell you, I've always never been a fan of the Kelvin universe Star Trek. I mean, it's up there with my feelings of the Star Wars sequels, but yeah. Yeah, there's feelings there. I'll just put it that way.
The actor, I thought the actors were great though.
No, I'll give you that. I mean, I loved Chris Pine as Kirk. I thought Chris Pine was a great Kirk. Who's the gentleman that played Dr. McCoy in that?
Yes, he's the star of it, Bones.
Yeah, he's great.
What's his name? God damn it.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. It's off the tip of my tongue. My big beef with the J.J. Abrams Star Trek is well, first of all, I think that the ships look like crap. I'll just leave it at that. That's just personal preference. But I hate what they did with Spock's character. The thing is, like, they made Spock kind of an emotional emo bitch. And what is up with Spock dating Uhura? The thing is, the cool thing with Spock, if you're a fan of the original series, the cool thing with Spock is that Spock's not an asexual character, but the thing is that Spock doesn't need a woman. I mean, he doesn't obsess about women. He doesn't, every 7 years, he's kind of on it. But other than that, you know what? He's got this like fluid alien sexuality, and what makes him so cool is that there's so many women in the series that want him, but he doesn't need anything to do with them. Nurse Chapel wants to get with him. There's a number of guest stars throughout the original series that are all just like all over him, and unless like he's compromised some way mentally, he's not really about women. And it's not that he doesn't like women, but he's just not about it. It's just not important to him, and that's what makes his character so goddamn cool. And in the J.J. Abrams Star Trek, they kind of made him like he got emotional about Uhura, and just like he wouldn't have a relationship with a crewmate. That's just not who Spock is.
Okay, so is it possible? Let me play devil's advocate real quick. This is they call it the Kelvin universe apparently now, like the Kelvin timeline.
Kelvin is the Kelvin timeline. The Kelvin was the name of the ship that Kirk was born on in the beginning.
Okay,
that's the name of the Kelvin. Is they call it the Kelvin timeline. It's an alternate universe.
Right. Okay. So I mean, then he's not really the Spock that we grew up with and knew. He's a new character basically. So Knick-Knack in an alternate timeline and Rob Banks don't do a show together. You know what I'm saying? Like where, mortal enemies, they wouldn't act like that. These guys have been fucking, hanging out for however long. Like it's just a different take on the characters, which is why I was like, all right, yeah, I'm just going to go with it and see where this goes, And I like the actors. Actor Quinto, I think, is a great actor.
Yeah, no, he's fine. He's fine. It was just a personal preference. It was just personal preference on the character, but I see what you're saying.
So that's where I kind of cut it a little bit more slack. And to me, it was just more like fun. Like my favorite Star Trek movie was First Contact, because I never got into I was a Star Wars guy. I was never really a Star Trek guy. I like the characters. I like the design of the ships. I get the concept. But if I had to choose, I'll just put on Star Wars because I like fantasy, like space opera, kind of swashbuckling, adventure-y more type shit. And I thought this movie reminded me more of that, which is why I kind of like these newer movies because they remind me more of that adventure-y type stuff and not so much with the lot. Like it's less Star Trek-y, which is why I happen to like it. But I could see how Star Trek fans are like, oh, fuck this, because this isn't our Star Trek.
Yeah,
there's more action. The thing is, though, when you look at the story and the facts in it, like it all breaks down. The logic is it doesn't make sense that Kirk would like become a, you know, like he would go through Starfleet with what 2 years or something, a year and a half. Everything is so contrived. It's like okay, that whole time the time travel thing when what you call it, the was it the Romulans went back in time through the wormhole. They arrived first, right? And they have superior technology. That's what the Kelvin, the ship that killed Kirk's father, right?
Right.
So they had to wait, I think, what, 16 years or something, or they had to wait a long period of time for Spock to come through.
Right.
And they were taken in by the Klingons, and they stayed prisoners of the Klingons all that time until they found out Spock came through the wormhole, and then that's when they decided, okay, now we're gonna bust out of prison, and so they could have left the whole time, but they stayed prisoners of the Klingons for some. It doesn't make any sense.
I didn't even know all that. I'm just like watching it, going, "Oh, that's cool."
That's what I'm saying. Because like you get taken in by the good performances of the actors, the action, and then but when you really break it down, in the second movie, they flipped the script with the Wrath of Khan stuff, where Spock died in Wrath of Khan. In the second one, Kirk dies. Remember?
Right.
And they bring him back to life with the blood from like one of those what are those things called? Knick-knack. Those little fluffy like balls. Tribbles, yeah. They took Tribble blood or something. No, was it Tribble blood?
And
they mixed it with like Khan's blood or something, and they injected Kirk, and they brought him back to life. So now you're introducing something that can bring people back to life into the Star Trek universe.
Right.
Some sort of resurrection blood now.
Yeah, sorry, Baz.
Yeah, no. But then also, what, Khan? You freaking cast a freaking British dude, Cumberbatch? I mean, come on, man. Khan's supposed to be, he's Indian on the show. He's played by a Hispanic actor. Come on, man. The reason Khan is so great is because it was played by, what's his name, Ricardo Montalban. Get somebody similar to him, not Cumberbatch. When he said, I'm Khan, nobody felt a damn thing. He was not convincing, So, movies too, but they are fun.
You know what? Just to compare, like the Star Wars, Star Trek thing, what kind of bothered me because I've loved both throughout my life, but to me they've always been so separate. Star Trek is like science fiction, where Star Wars is like science fantasy.
Yes.
And they're so different. And it's like, I really love chocolate milk, and I really love orange juice, but I don't want to drink them at the same time. That's what I felt about the J.J. Abrams Star Trek. It was like drinking orange juice and chocolate milk at the same time, mixing it.
Do you think Star Trek is trying to get more like Star Wars, and Star Wars is trying to get more like Star Trek?
Maybe everything should just be Star Wars. Anyways, gentlemen, I want to get to show off some stuff real quick. We got a couple of things I want to show off. Check this out. Here is a picture of the new Mafex Wolverine that dropped for pre-order this week. And he's a pretty dynamite looking figure. What do you think, Baz?
Garbage.
Why does he look like garbage?
Why are his claws longer than his fucking forearm?
Yes, that bothers me too. Okay, so we are in agreement on that. I think it's a little bit too much of a stylistic choice. The Revoltech Wolverine, which was more of like the Marvel versus Capcom, it was kind of acceptable for that to be a little over the top and crazy. But yeah, the claws on this are a little too long there. I think the ears are a little too long too, personally. It has its flaws. I think it's a little too yellowy. It has a very toyish look to it, but the articulation and the poses that I'm seeing this thing get are really freaking nice, though.
Looks very 80s. I like it. Looks very 80s.
You got the face sculpt picture on there?
Yeah, hold on. I gotta minimize this stuff and get to let's see, folks, the Master Barber, basura, garbage. All right, let's see. Hold on one second. Let's see. All right. I got that there.
By the way, the actor who played Bones is Carl Urban.
Carl Urban, yes. All right, can you guys see me flip the pictures?
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, there you go.
I'm not a fan of this head. I gotta be honest. I'm not a fan of this head sculpt. This is kind of cool that you can do that with his arms and shit. It looks pretty good there. I'm not a fan of this head sculpt at all. I think the Mezco head sculpt is way better, and I know it's uglier, but I kind of like Wolverine being a little bit more like gruff and rough looking, like manly man. He doesn't have to be kind of handsome. And I think that the ears on the wisps on his hair, so to speak, are a little too long. I don't know, man. I think that it kind of comes across. He's got like the little thing you can put on his back to, like, if his mask was down.
That's I think this he needs to come with a cigar though.
Nah, no cigar. They're not coming with cigars anymore because, they can't promote smoking for kids' toys, even though these are adult toys. Complete horseshit. The problem with this figure that I'm seeing right here is that it's looking a lot like it looks like a very expensive Marvel Legend.
Yeah, dude. And Marvel Legends just came out with the best friggin' Wolverine figure in the past few months anyway. So this is like figures, just like it's like redundant. It's like there's no need for it.
Now
it's
going to
cost like
also the figure is $95.
Yeah, okay, so even more than I thought. $95, yeah, and you could get a Marvel Legends for $20.
Yeah, and it's kind of pretty comparable to the Marvel Legend. I'm sure it's going to be better in certain ways, like articulation-wise, perhaps, and it may pop a little bit more on your shelf for whatever reason. But I'm not seeing that much of a difference in almost $80 difference in price. Nick Nack, what do you think?
I got to say, you know what? This is like my first introduction to that character, that look, that stylization there. So from that perspective, I mean, not that I'm going to go buy it. I'm not really a big Marvel guy, but I really do dig it. Although, guys, check it out, dude. I am wearing Marvel socks. I got Marvel socks. I'm a big DC guy, but I'm wearing Marvel socks. I just wanted to point that out to everybody.
You're crossing worlds, bro. You got a Justice League shirt and Marvel socks on. Hilarious. Master Pizza writes that price is garbage, though. Yeah, no, it totally is. That's it almost seems like some of these companies are like, oh, it's a Wolverine figure. Let's kick them in the fucking nuts while we're at it. The Mafex Venom and comic version of Spider-Man does look really good. The Spidey and the Venom, those look really good. Those look like super Marvel Legends, like Hasbro on like steroids. So that doesn't bother me as much. This one kind of just comes across, like folks said, this is a little too toyish. Personally, I know a lot of people don't like the Mezco version of Wolverine because he's not super articulated. It's like, look, man, the fucking thing's got like 30 points of articulation or 27 or whatever it is. Wolverine he does cool moves and shit, but does he really do splits and stick to walls and flip around like a ninja? No, he doesn't. He's just got to kind of look the part. So it is what it is. And that's all I have to say about that. Baz, anything else you want to say about the Wolverine, Mafex?
Yeah, I think the Revel Tech is a cooler version of this character. The Revel
Tech is more of the like the Marvel versus Capcom version, Like, so if you want a stylized Wolverine that's over the top, I think that's the way to go.
Because this is like in the middle, like it's kind of trying to be stylized a little bit, but not, and it's just not distinctive enough.
Yeah. It's kind of all right.
Whereas
so
the Rebel Tech, it's like, okay, yeah, that's real. They're really going for something here.
Right.
With this,
it's vanilla.
It's vanilla. Yeah, it's too.
I
average.
like vanilla, but I'm not. I'm not going to be getting. I already got my Tiger Wolverine, so that's fine. All right, moving on. Tiger Wolverine, Tiger. All right. Check this out. John Cryer is Lex Luthor. Time to switch gears. There he is, the first picture of him. It's like, hey, we should be excited about a bald guy in a suit. Like any old fucking bald guy in a suit, but I guess he
looks more rugged than he did in Pretty in Pink.
Look, Ducky's all grown up. I guess they had to give him a beard to make him less John Cryer-y. Whatever, I'll wait to see it. I'm hoping that this is one of those cases where, like, and I severely doubt it, but like when Mr. Mom became like the greatest Batman and then went on to be a psycho in Pacific Heights, I'm hoping that Ducky somewhere deep down inside is a serial killer / crazy ass businessman ready to put on a great performance. So
I think
hoping this works out.
Unfortunately, he's on Supergirl.
Oh God.
Which that show was.
I don't even want to talk about this show. It's just this happens to be fucking news of the week, so it's like Jesus Christ, we have to talk about it. But yeah, I hate that fucking show. You know, and I want so badly to like it.
You know, I would be so much more excited about this sort of thing. I really wish that DC would have one single continuity. I can't get into these TV shows because there's no continuity with what's going on the big screen. Like, I would really be like more into these characters if I knew like Henry Cavill's Superman was somewhere in this universe, or Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman was somewhere in this universe. You know, walking in, going out one door as these characters go into another. I'd be more excited about that. I'd have more juiced up to actually watch these shows. I don't have the bandwidth to keep up with all these different continuities in DC. And I love DC, you know, like to the moon, but I would be more excited about these things if, like I said, if it was one single continuity.
All right. The only thing is, though, the whole continuity thing with the movies and the TV shows, Marvel hasn't even perfected it. It has not worked. I mean, they had the Netflix shows and they had the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and it never worked out.
Yeah, I'm not even the what you call it's too. Even with Marvel, when they do the those Netflix shows that everyone raves about. I'm sorry, man. Like, Daredevil's fucking awesome, but to see him in such a realistic world, it's almost like the Netflix shows, even though they're in the Marvel cinematic universe, they're not. They're fucking not, because it's just too realistic and too dark they don't match up with the universes at all. It just seems like two completely different worlds and takes me out of it. Plus, Daredevil should be able to fucking hang with Captain America, and Captain America would bust his ass hard if they ever cross paths, the movie version and the TV version of Daredevil. So
I'm just speaking from a personal perspective here, because I have never gotten into I've tried getting into these WB shows. I watched a few episodes of The Flash. I watched a few episodes of Supergirl, and I just they're just not connected to anything. They're just kind of hanging out on their own, and I don't know, just my perspective.
It doesn't bother me that much because it's also DC is pretty much predicated itself for fucking 40, 50 years on the multiverse. So I just go in, okay, it's just the same Star Trek issue we were just having. It's just a new universe. This is in this universe, these are this rules. In this universe, these are that rules. Because when I read comics, it's the same way that, for a while, the Watchmen didn't take place. It still really hasn't up until recently. It didn't take place in the same universe that these other things are in. And when you read an Elseworlds title, like, the Long Halloween or whatever, it's like just a different version of those characters, and I just try to watch them for the stories and enjoy it because fuck it, it's superheroes,
Yeah, true enough.
Folks, the Master Barra, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. got a lot better. I hope so, because I fucking hated that show. It's like, I'm watching a superhero show, but it's just a bunch of guys in suits, whatever. Like, they're boring. I don't know. I need something more, for my superhero. I just need more, I want characters in fucking spandex punching each other is really what I want.
Jim Steranko, I was talking to him at a convention. Jim Steranko is a legend, right? He's an artist, right? And he's known for S.H.I.E.L.D. And I asked him, I was like, so what do you think of the TV show? So he pulls me and my friend aside, and he's like, I don't like it. He's like, that guy, what's his name? Coulson. He's like, he reminds me of a shoe salesman. We were laughing. Man.
There you go. Like, to me, it just came across as I watched the first season and half of the second season of when it started, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And I was like 3 episodes into the second season, and I couldn't tell you any character on the show's name except Coulson. I was like, oh yeah, the pretty girl with the powers, I think, and then there's like the twins.
The characters are so bland, and it's funny because Joss Whedon actually casted them and did the first pilot.
There's just I don't know, their personalities didn't stick out enough to me, and they kind of seemed like just regular people. Like they weren't larger than life enough for me, personally.
Yeah.
So people are making jokes going. Alfred, the TV show, J. Jonah Jameson, the TV show, maybe that one. Pretty much. This is why do we need to go before? It's ridiculous. And I think they're actually making an Alfred TV show too, by the way. got good when Ghost Rider was on the show. See, that's kind of cool. I mean, maybe I should watch those episodes when like fucking Ghost Rider was on and shit, because that to me that sounds interesting.
Nah, don't waste your life.
All right. Here's something else I wanted to show off to everybody at home. And you're gonna say, why the hell am I looking at a Funko Pop of Slick Rick? Well, that's not the reason why I'm actually putting this up. There's a gentleman that I got introduced to this week through Instagram, through the Collector Zone Cantina. So go. By the way, the Collector Zone now has a YouTube page. So if you join the Collector Zone Cantina on Facebook, you should go and subscribe to their YouTube page, because we just got over doing our Thor giveaway, and we're actually in the process of putting up our next giveaway, which will be a NECA giveaway for the Red Cup review soon too. So go check out the Collector Zone on YouTube. But this isn't a real Funko Pop. This is a custom Funko Pop. There's a gentleman online. Now, I'm not a Funko guy, but I just thought that this shit looked really cool, and I wanted to share it with everybody because I know there's a lot of people that like fucking Funko Pops. His name is, on Instagram, his name is Pablo Picasso. Like Funko Pops, Pablo Picasso. And he takes, this is not a real, it's a custom Funko Pop. So he makes one-off custom Funko Pops for any character you want if he can do it. And here's like a quick little look at some of the stuff he does. And I was pretty impressed, and I wanted to show everybody here because I know there's just a lot of Funko Pop stuff going on, and it seems to be like the in thing. Look, he did what you call it? This is the rapper from the Bronx, not Fat Joe. Big Pun. He did a Big Pun, and he does he takes the graphic art and he puts it on, and he actually paints it up, and he actually sculpts things too. So if he can't get a Funko Pop to make it look like something, he actually puts the sculpting putty on, and he made himself an M. Bison. Here's one of his earlier creations, type stuff. He created this hat, and showing off some of his work here and shit. So if you guys are into Funko Pops and want some custom shit, go check out Pablo Picasso. Here he is showing off one of his custom Funko Pops. He's a big hip hop head too from the Bronx. So if you happen to like hip hop, this guy knows where it's at, because he was talking about he did a Jam Master Jay one. This one was pretty cool.
Man, he does good work.
Holding the Adidas shit.
Customized himself, and he customized all these himself.
Yeah, he customizes everything he does. Is what got me. And his work is getting better. You can see the edges on the hat are a little rough on this one. He's still a work in process. He shows you what the original Jam Master Jay is going for now, because they put it in the vault, and he's like, yo, why have a vaulted figure when you could, fuck it, I'll make you a custom one. Here's it inside of its package. This is what kind of sold me, was that he actually has he puts them in the package. He does the Funko Pop custom. He has his own little sticker he puts on it, so it's a legit one-off custom, R.I.P. Jam Master Jay. See, he's got a nice little thing going on here, and it's kind of unique. And
how does he work in that medium? Does he does he have a 3D printer? I mean, how does he do that? That's incredible.
I don't know. He must have either a 3D printer. I think that most of the stuff, the hat and the record and the chain, I think he sculpts it all out of that special sculpting material. It's almost it's like a casting. I was watching him work through it. He has a YouTube page too, where he actually that shit that they use to make casts. You can make he sculpts shit. Here's his M. Bison. This is really nice, and they look really nice in the packaging too. The packaging is kind of cool. It's kind of that little bit of extra, and then he's got the paint on there and stuff, as you could see.
Awesome.
I mean, you can see. I'm not a Funko guy either. I fucking hate Funko Pops. But when I saw this, I was like, holy shit. I actually contacted him to make, and I'm probably going to have him make it in the future at some point. I got to put funds to the side and get a little bank to get a little fun bank thing going on. But I contacted him to see if he could do an Adventures of Ford Fairlane Andrew Dice Clay Funko Pop, because I am totally the biggest fucking Ford Fairlane fan and the biggest Dice Clay fan there is practically. And I said, hey, is it possible that you could do a Ford Fairlane one? He was like, oh, hell yeah. He was like, Dice would work great for this. We'll get him with a cigarette. We'll get him in his cigarette. He was like, give me some pictures. So I took some pictures off the internet, and he was like, yeah, I'll draw from this. I'll draw from that. He even suggested me going out and getting a die cast like a die-cast Ford Fairlane. It's actually the car he drives in the movie is a 57 Ford Fairlane 500 hardtop convertible in cherry red, the Skyliner. And he was like, yo, go get that. And then you can have that kind of post next to the fucking Funko Pop. It'll look like, you know, he's like in his car and shit. And eventually, when his skills get better, he's like, he wants to start working on being able to do like vehicles, you know, eventually. Because Funko Pop has it where like the pop, like the half guy is sitting in the vehicle himself. That's like going to be like the next evolution of his creation when he feels as though he could take that on as a customizer. So I was like, oh, that's pretty friggin' awesome. But
that's great.
Gentlemen, I enjoyed the show. Folks is going to bed. My wife got me sick. See you later, folks. What happened, Baz?
I have like 4 pops. I don't collect them, but this is one of them. This is from the I met the actor who played Taserface from Guardians of the Galaxy 2. So I wanted something for him to sign, so I picked up this pop, and he signed it with he put up the top, "It's metaphorical."
Nice.
He signed his name, so
freaking awesome.
I think you were at that convention, dude, the Terrificon.
Yeah, no, Laura took the picture with him.
That was the one that was
yeah, but she liked it. She was into him from what's that show? That soap opera show.
This Is Us.
This Is Us. Yeah.
I believe that Baz's exact words were, "Dude, I didn't even see you smiling that hard at your wedding."
she goes, you heard her?
Nah.
She goes, I believe his exact words were, because she just came in the room. I didn't see you smile that hard at your own wedding. So
I said that to her.
Yeah, you said that to her.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. Oh, but it was cool. So what else you got? You got something else over there you want to show off?
Oh yeah. Actually, I picked up the Mafex Hulk, Infinity War Hulk, and he's pretty freaking damn awesome.
All right, so we just saw a Mafex Wolverine that didn't make the cut in your eyes. So tell us why this Hulk is good.
Oh, excellent articulation, man. Just the sculpt. Look at this guy. There you go. I mean,
all those ratchet joints?
I have no idea about any of these joints. Is this what they call like the butterfly joint over here?
The butterfly joint is the one in the shoulders right there for his arms to do this shit.
Right.
So his arms can cross
so
over.
That. I mean, he's just. I mean, do you own any Mafex?
I don't own any Mafex figures. I've never bought one.
It's also like plastic, and just like the feel of it is just. It's really nice. So, no, he has a nice size. I mean, put him next to the Dark Side that recently came out. And,
let's go Dark Side. Are they comparable in height?
A little bit taller, but I mean, it makes a nice face-off. That you know.
Nice. It's very cool.
Yeah, no, he's good. He's he got like a lot of nominations for Figure of the Year. He's up there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Freaking awesome. Freaking awesome. Nick Nack, you got anything brewing in the Plastic Planet?
Yeah, check it out, guys. My wife picked this up for me this week. She got it off of a thrift store auction. This is a 1980 lunchbox here from The Empire Strikes Back. It's a little scratched up, but it's still in really, really nice condition.
Holy shit.
Yeah, this thing is awesome. Although, there is one hang-up I have with this. I actually remember sitting across in the cafeteria, eating lunch with a kid who had this lunchbox, and he was eating this nasty, I remember vividly him eating this nasty ham sandwich with shitloads of mayonnaise on it. And I've always had this repulsion to mayonnaise my entire life. I would rather touch poop than mayonnaise. That's kind of where I'm at. So I always kind of associated this lunchbox with mayonnaise, with dripping mayonnaise. So that's kind of a downside to it. But other than that, this thing is phenomenally awesome.
That is freaking awesome. I love the old school lunch boxes. I think they look great. No thermos, right?
No thermos in this one. Although it did come with inside of it. Whoever sold it also gave us some vintage Star Wars figures. Got a B-wing pilot and a General Madine. So General Madine was kind of one of the worst figures they ever made as far as excitement goes. He's really boring. But B-wing pilot, so that's fun. So yeah, really cool. That was my score this week, courtesy of my beautiful bride.
Yo, you're gonna have a fucking nightmare tonight of you like opening up your brand new lunchbox and just mayonnaise is gonna start bubbling up out of it, and fucking filling the room.
Dude, I was in a fraternity in college. I made the mistake of telling people how much I loathe mayonnaise. And I was literally laying in my bunk one night with a bunch of giggling, and a couple of my fraternity brothers had gotten a giant industrial mayonnaise tub from the kitchen and were opening it up, about to smear it all over me. And I came out with fists, man. I was clocking guys. There was no way they were going to touch me with that shit.
That's funny. That's a fucking good pickup. I love the vintage shit, man. You guys gotta fucking go check out Nick Nack's stuff. Even his older videos, man. He's got a lot of really cool old Star Wars vintage shit, man. It's great. All right, here's not necessarily my pickups of the week, but here's like a little sneak peek of what's coming soon for the Red Cup review, for the reviews that'll be coming on this week. Just got this in, but not just Egon from the Real Ghostbusters. Is Diamond Select Real Ghostbusters Egon. The Diamond Select was nice enough to grace the Red Cup review with some shit to review. They were like, yo, we fucking saw you and we, kind of like your shit. So we're going to send you some stuff. So we got the Egon they sent. They sent Slimer.
Nice.
From the Real Ghostbusters. This is not like the whole set, because like the set comes with it's like 15 figures in all. But the new wave, this is wave 2, is Egon, Slimer, and Winston. So this will be like, then I'm going to do a full review on these 3 figures. I'm going to do all 3 figures in one shot. I'm not going to do a review for each figure. So I'll do all 3 figures in one shot. And what's cool about these figures, although I'm not going to be able to assemble it during the review, when you get all 15 fucking figures, really, you get to assemble the front of the fucking firehouse right here. Which is pretty awesome. And it's big, too. So if the figure is like this big, the firehouse doors would come up to here. They're big, like to scale.
How much are they each?
These are 25 to 30. Depends on the in Target they could be 30, but they're really between, I want to say 25 to 30 around there. You get a deal on the 25.
They're going to be mass retail then.
Yeah, no, these are mass retail figures. You go and get them in any comic shop or fucking Target. You could probably get them in Walmart even or something like that.
Fantastic. I like how they took their cartoon characters, but they kind of made them look almost real life, realistic.
Oh, and for the toys?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're like, if I got a real quick inbox review, if I had to explain it right now, they are super accurate to the cartoon color wise and style wise, but they do have that more chiseled look, it's not so cartoony as the way the clothes look and the wrinkles and the outfits and shit, So it's got like you just said, that real world kind of feel to it a little bit with the cartoon. It's like the exact cartoon flavor with a real world twist. So
and those are a 7-inch scale, right? 7.
That's a 7-inch. Yeah, they're big. These are big fucking figures. They're like 7.5 inches or something like that. Same thing as the Marvel Selects, pretty much. And something else they sent as well. They sent this PVC Batman statue. The Hardak Batman, yeah, it's looks like a 12-inch Batman. This is the animated series gallery Hardak Batman PVC diorama figure, and he's got the half from the animated series. He has that half robot face, and he's holding the sword like he's gonna come down and chop some heads. I'm trying to get a good shot for you guys here. So he's kind of like the Batman. Apparently, in one of the animated series episodes, it says here. Hardak, the holographic, analytical, reciprocating digital AI computer, was created by Cybertron, Transformers reference, as a means of exploring the limits of artificial intelligence. But Hardak seized upon the problem of human morality and decided to replace humanity with immortal androids. Although Hardak was ultimately stopped, one android survived, a duplicate of Batman himself. So. Wow. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, and speaking of the animated series earlier, the whole episode comes full circle. I got to watch the Hardak episode and then do the review on the animated series. I'm going to be doing the Ghostbuster figures first and then the Batman statue a little later on. So that's kind of what's in line for the Red Cup review. I know there's not that many people still watching. We only have 6 viewers right now, but I want to also tell you to please watch out for the next giveaway, the NECA giveaway that we're going to be giving away as well. But you guys got to go and join ahead of time. Go join the Collector Zone Cantina on Facebook and go subscribe to the Collector Zone on Facebook, because there is a ridiculous, like, we're doing the NECA. We just gave away the Mezco Thor. I have to ship that out. The winner was just announced in the last video. And we have the NECA giveaway coming, and Paradox Nerd has a giveaway that is going to blow the fucking doors off of any giveaway I've ever seen. Like, from like a YouTube channel perspective, I have never seen anything like this before, or even heard of anyone doing something like this. And that's all I'm going to say, because it's not ready yet, but it's a big one. And there's going to be a lot of fucking holes you're going to have to jump through for this. So I'm trying to get you guys kind of prepped ahead of time. Subscribe to the Red Cup Review. Subscribe to the Paradox Nerd. Go check out the Collector Zone Cantina on Facebook. Subscribe to the Collector Zone on YouTube. And you guys should just be in that community anyway, because they allow like you to put up videos of like, hey, I'm in the Collector Zone and this is who I am, and check out my collection. They do like actual, it's not just about YouTubers. It's like fans that are in the Collector Zone community, like put up their collections and shit and film themselves. Oh, look at this fucking toy I picked up this week and shit. And you could submit it to them and they'll put it up on the YouTube channel. It's a good community thing they got going on there. So get yourself fucking, I'm telling you guys, there's only 7 people watching right now. Go get a jump on this shit. Let's see. It had a NECA feel to it. Keeping my Mondo bats, love that figure. It had a NECA feel to it. Only have Freeze Mondo on pre-order, and He-Man and Skeletor. The He-Man and Skeletor ones do look pretty incredible. Hope they do all the characters. Gordon would be cool. Mondo, Harvey, Bullock. Mondo, Harvey, Bullock would be like this big because he's a big blocky guy.
You know what I saw that looked like a cool figure from NECA? The Jamie Lee Curtis figure from the latest Halloween movie.
Props to Mezco. Props to NECA. No props to Mezco, actually. We'll be talking about that in a future episode. But props to NECA for doing a figure like that and having the balls to actually come out with something that's not just the guy. We need more side characters for this. So it's cool to have like the Jamie Lee Curtis to go along with your Michael Myers, So I'm all for that. Like a Nancy to go along maybe with your Freddy Krueger, let's say, something like that.
Yeah, I want a Nancy, dude. She's friggin' gangster.
Yeah. I mean, you get the
What do we call her?
Oh, what'd you call? You called her the Kevin McAllister of horror movies. Remember that shit? Setting the traps for Freddy Krueger.
Dude, it was like Home Alone.
Yeah, the
She's screaming help, help. Freddy's getting his ass kicked.
You almost feel bad for him, right?
Yeah. Freddy needs help from you. Shit.
Yeah, exactly. He's the one that should be asking for fucking help. Check it out, guys. The Collector Zone. The Collector Zone. No, not the Collector Zone. The Collector's Resource. Right. I've been promoting these guys lately. They're the guys that have the those you put the comic book, the CGC comic or the regular comic inside the frames and put the frame up on your wall. Somebody that I know actually went to the Collector Zone and they ordered, because they have new frames now with colors in them and shit. So now they're not just flat black frames. You actually have ones with like different borders and shit now, like different colors. So the person went there and ordered and used the Red Cup review code and got 15% off. So it's legit. It's not just bullshit. I was sitting here all this time going, I hope I'm saying to fucking go to this thing and use it. And it's not bullshit. No, it's 100% true. You go to the collectorsresource.com and order your CGC frames or your regular comic book frames and enter the code Red Cup Review at checkout, and they'll give you 15% off your fucking order. Awesome. Hey, look.
Did you hand out discounts? That's pretty awesome.
I was surprised too, man, when because I contacted these guys and I was like, look, I need CGC frames. I want to promote you. I want to fucking, if you have good quality product, I'll do a review on it. And we were able to work out a deal. And the guy was like, hey, I really enjoyed the video. I was like, hey, look, the holidays are coming up. Is anything you can do for the Red Cup Review, like viewers and shit? And he was like, yeah, fuck it. 15% off, type in Red Cup Review on checkout, enter the code, and your fucking guys can get 15% off. So I was like, all right, that's great. Let them know. So I'm thinking it's only for the holiday season. So I just been beating this drum to death. Like, hey, go to the collectorsresource.com, collectorsresource.com. Meanwhile, you guys could have went there and the shit didn't even work. And I just looked like the fool. Apparently, someone went and it worked, and they contacted me and were like, "Yo, your code worked." So there you go, guys. 15% off your order in case you're interested.
Rob, did you see The Punisher?
No, I haven't even watched the first season of that shit.
Dude, listen. John Bernthal is excellent as the Punisher. It's like it's the first actor that I've seen like actually feels like he's actually Italian. You know, like
that's cool.
He's just like when he fights people, one thing, and he's like freaking out like a Sicilian.
A Sicilian.
A Sicilian.
Yeah, no, I haven't even watched the first.
Yeah, no, he's really hardcore Italian in this. But the writing is it's hit and miss.
Right.
But he's really good. They should make a feature film with him.
Just bring
Disney
him
is smart. They need to make a 2-hour film.
He's halfway through the second season. Is it good? Slim Tim says Tina 2 to fight Jason. There you go. Exactly. See, we're all on the same page here. Hey, should that Nancy figure we had mentioned earlier, should she come with the bathtub? With the claw coming out of the legs? The wife is like, that's the worst scene in movie history. You know, it's like her accessory, bonus bathtub accessory. You put the bubbles, though. You have like the plastic bubbles. Zoe has one of these toys. My daughter has a Barbie bathtub, right? And you put the Barbie in the bathtub, and then it's like a plastic piece that comes and snaps over, and it's just bubbles and shit, and the feet stick out the other side. So the figures looks like they're in a full bath, but it's just a plastic cover. So you do the same shit with the adult collectible. You put Nancy in the bathtub, and then you have the plastic piece that snaps on, and it looks like she's in the fucking bathtub. It works. It covers all the important parts. Let's see.
Which one's worse? The Freddy hand coming out of the bathtub or the Zoom fucking hand on Dana?
Oh, yeah. All right. So the wife has a question for the community here, for the chat room. What's worse, the hand coming out of the bathtub for Nancy, or Dana Barrett sitting in the chair and the fucking Zool hand coming, grabbing some side tit and dragging her into oblivion?
Oh, man, it's the bathtub, dude. It's the bathtub.
She's like, the bathtub, man.
See the freaking claw? Man, come on.
He's like, the fucking claw in the bathtub, man.
That close to your
Freddy's into mutilation.
I'll tell you what, look, the bathtub thing is definitely scarier, but then, she wakes up and it kind of goes back down under the water. Dana was just on the phone and taking a nap, and the fucking hands grabbed her, groped her, and then the door opens and there's a terror dog on the other side, and she gets sucked into it and possessed by it. So, I mean, at least Nancy didn't even get to see what we saw in the bathtub. So, according to her, this shit never happened. The Kev's Matrix, the chair is epic fun. Excellent, excellent. Oh, man. Anyways, gentlemen, I am wiped. I really enjoyed this episode. Thanks to everybody in the chat. You guys have anything to say before we wrap this up?
Oh, man, thanks for having me on. Really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, well, dude, you're fucking always welcome on here, man, for Christ's sakes. We need more Plastic Planet in the Red Cup review.
I appreciate it. I really do. And you know what? Just before we go, let me walk something back. When we were talking about Black Panther getting the Academy Award nomination, I mentioned that it didn't break any new ground. Of course, it broke new ground. I was been kind of like fixating on my comment there, and I really kind of want to walk that back a little bit. I do understand the importance of the protagonist in that film and why it's significant.
Well, yeah, but that's still I totally agree. But at the same time, I feel as though that seems to. I think there's a problem, and this is gonna like turn into a fucking Star Wars discussion on The Last Jedi. And I'm trying to again, this is not the time for that, but people can't differentiate like, okay, something is good and it's important, so it should be noted, but is it Academy Award Best Picture worthy? It's two totally separate things. Something can be the best picture of the year, which this isn't by any stretch of the imagination, but that doesn't mean that it's not significant and great in its own right.
Absolutely.
So is one thing, And to put it up for Best Picture is something completely fucking different.
I totally agree. I just was like thinking back on my remarks. I didn't want to be too dismissive of it. And I felt like maybe I was a tad dismissive.
Yeah, whatever, man. It comes down. Don't worry about it. I didn't even pick up on it, so whatever. If someone else did, that's their fucking problem. Baz, you got anything to say, Mr. Amazing Larry?
I'm the bigger asshole in this, Nick Knight. Don't worry.
He's like, I'm the bigger asshole in this. He just, fuck it, whatever. Baz, you got anything to say before we sign off?
Yeah, Black Panther is not a Best Picture film, period. I don't care about cultural significance, yada, 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 yada. That's it.
Fucking let him be the fucking, the guy to say it. Let's see. They need Black Panther because the Oscars suck without it. Yeah, that I can't agree with you more on that totally. Except I'm telling you guys, if you haven't seen Bohemian Rhapsody, go see it. Fucking Queen is. I was never really that big of a Queen fan growing up, but then I was like, I got older and I got wiser, and I was like, oh shit, that's their song. Oh shit, that's their song. Their fucking music is so genre spanning, and they have such different type of stuff. It's just great fucking band.
Speaking of like Black Panther and black superhero characters, you know who they should have made a black character? What you call it? Captain Marvel. There was a Captain Marvel in the 80s that was on the Avengers. They call her Photon now. I think her name was Monica Rambeau.
Yeah, she's in my in the Alex Ross painting I have here on the wall. The cover of Secret Wars #1. Captain Marvel's black.
She was awesome character. She's great. She's way more interesting than what they're putting out now.
Well, there you go. I guess that's I don't know. I guess they're trying to go what's current, what's more current. I guess, but
no, they're trying to manufacture this Captain Marvel into something that she never earned. She was more popular as Ms. Marvel, and even then, the character never caught on.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I don't know. The only time I ever liked Miss Marvel was when she was in the the blue black outfit with the lightning bolt on her chest, the really big one with the red sash or the yellow sash.
Exactly.
Rather.
Even then, it's just like she looks cool. That's it, though. But as a character, nah, that movie's gonna bomb. I can't wait.
Well, speaking of Captain Marvel, guys, I got to tell you, we talked about mentioning this just before we go. I'm really stoked because I saw that new Shazam trailer. When that kid runs off the freaking side of the building and yells Shazam! Oh man, I'm so in.
Yeah, that was fucking great. I liked the first trailer, but when I saw this one and I saw the kid pull that shit and then fly off, I was like, wow, this fucking looks great, man.
I'm in.
Yeah, no, I'm feeling. So
halfway done. I'm halfway done with the recent the reboot from Shazam, the New 52, written by Jeff Johns.
Right.
And this is what this movie's based on. It's excellent. It reads like a movie. It's like they should just take the book and just translate it into the movie script.
Well, then to be fucking great. I mean, I don't think I have read that yet, so I'm sure I would have remembered because he's one of my favorite fucking characters. So
it won't have Black Adam in it, but I have a feeling they're gonna have Black Adam at the end of this film.
Hey, listen, that'd be great. They gotta definitely fucking tease it. They gotta tease him. Kev's Matrix writes the Death of Superman sequel. He cannot recommend it enough. Yes, the Reign of Superman. That's on the docket this week for me to catch up with.
Is that out? I'm sorry, guys. Is that out already on Blu-ray?
Yeah,
it
came out last week.
I'm going to Walmart after this because I have the first one down here and I loved it. So I'm in. I got to go to Walmart.
Yeah, there you go. So we got to fucking do that. Maybe for next week we'll talk about that shit if we could all get it. Glass is a cool movie. Haven't seen it. That's the second recommendation I've gotten on that movie. And Bumblebee and Venom. I didn't like Venom at all. At fucking all. I thought that no, not at all. Tom Hardy is great. He's just fucking wonderful. But I didn't. To me, that movie, if it wasn't for Tom Hardy, was a B movie at absolute best. I didn't even care for the CGI in it. I hated the end of the movie with the big CGI battle. I just thought it was terrible. But whatever, that's me. I also didn't like either Deadpool movie. I thought Deadpool sucked too. I fell asleep twice during the second one, so whatever.
I've been waiting to watch Venom at work. So yeah.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's he's good. Tom Hardy's just so fucking good that he just brings an essence of a charisma with everything he does. So he does a really good job, but I don't know, man. To me, it just came across as a fucking B movie. Like I felt like I would have just, if I would have saw this movie and it was like 1989 or 1990, it would have been like, okay, that seemed like a movie from then, you know. That's all I got.
It doesn't hold up, man. Like when I first saw it, I kind of liked it, but they needed to have a little bit of like with Cable in it. They needed to have more of a serious side, and it was just all just Deadpool insanity, you know. So
it's crazy over the type, goofy comedy, and I couldn't even like. The Cable was wasted character. It just seemed like they fucking were like trolling us as an audience. So I was just like, whatever. Yeah, the Juggernaut scene was kind of cool, but whatever.
Yeah, they needed to have some sort of grounded, really good, serious storyline, and then have Deadpool just do his thing, you know, with that as the backdrop. But it was just too over the top all the way. It was like 100% Deadpool, and they should have had a little bit more of a serious tone, especially having Cable in it.
Yeah, exactly. So I just kind of like whatever. To me, it's I fell asleep. I watched it 2 times and fell asleep twice. I got a little further in the second time, and then I was just like, I literally fell. I don't fall asleep in movies. I don't walk out of movies. And like in the theater, if I hate the movie, I won't walk out because I'm like, all right, I'm here already. I might as well fucking just live through this fucking nightmare. And I don't fall asleep in movies usually. Twice, 2 fucking times, no good. Anyways, yeah, Rob, just a fan. Deadpool needs a movie. Deadpool kills the Marvel universe. I love those comics.
I have such a negative association with Deadpool, and it's not fair to Deadpool. But the thing is like, I watched Deadpool with my wife. We watched it we got it on pay-per-view back, a couple years ago after it came out, and we were watching on TV. And I ate like just a shit ton of sugar-free gummy bears when I was watching Deadpool. And I always associate Deadpool with having the horrid fire shits from hell. Sugar-free gummy bears. So it's not fair to Deadpool, but I hate that movie.
Rob Just Fences fell asleep during The Last Jedi. Wow, I was on the edge of my seat for that shit. What?
What about you? I mean, speaking of movies, did you have like a shit attack or Batman?
Oh, the last Batman. But that's because my heart was pumping at 100 miles an hour. It was like my first panic attack. Was when I saw The Dark Knight Rises, and I had a shit attack in the movie theater, and I had to run.
I think it was right when he was coming with his plane.
Yeah, right when he was like driving in with the plane, and they did the whole thing where he was carrying the fucking bomb through the city, and I was just panicking, like, I can't take this, and run to the bathroom and shit, and fucking splash water on my face and all that. But anyways, yeah, whatever. She's laughing now. I know, big fucking laughing stock, but whatever. It happens to the best of us.
I'm sorry, buddy. TMI. I'm sorry. Yeah, that is TMI.
Did you come back? You did come back, right? You missed about what, 10 minutes, 15 minutes?
I missed it. Yeah, Basil was sitting next to me. I missed about a little less than 10 minutes. Maybe like 7 to 10 minutes around there. But whatever. It is
what is it? I told you, I was like, what the fuck? He's got a shit now?
Yeah, exactly. It was just induced from the panic of the movie. It's like I'm like, fucking like dying over here and shit. And my body's just, my organs are shutting down over Batman. Like I was going into my death throes, for Christ's sakes.
What about the first Batman?
Yeah, Hans Zimmer is panic-inducing. I agree.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm glad I could take this conversation right now.
Oh God. Anyways, gentlemen, I gotta go, man. I'm fucking zonked. I'm gonna sign off, guys. In the chat, love you guys. Thanks for sticking with us through this. And we'll see you next week.
Let's talk about the Mezco incident.
Oh Christ! Yeah, there's a fucking Mezco incident. I gotta try to frame this in a. I got to frame it for you guys. But there is a Mezco incident we need to talk about. So we'll catch you next week. Tune in. Subscribe to the Red Cup Review. Source War with Baz. Knickknacks Plastic Planet. The Paradox Nerd. He couldn't. He's sick. Paradox Nerd is sick this week. He couldn't be with us. He'll be on again eventually. Collector Zone Cantina on Facebook. You guys should just be in the fucking Collector Zone because they just got cool shit to show. And the Collector Zone on YouTube. This has been the Red Cup Review. We will see you next week. All right. Fuck off.